All praises, all honor, all glory be unto Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahushai, Ba'Hashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostle elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace and salutation to all the Akim doing and pushing his word in sincerity and truth worldwide, and a sincere shalom to the elect. Now I wanted to get into this little video here. This is Slakia. This was after camp. This following last camp, I was just in my backyard and I was listening to a couple other brothers' videos, and lo and behold, I look up and I say, what is that in the sky? Because it was right, I wouldn't say above me, but more so, when I looked in the sky, it was close, close by. And as I look up, it was dark with red. I think I had red, and it changed. Like the red went away and it just went dark. I'm gonna show you the video. When I zoom in on this, chariot here, and I've seen one like this before. It looks like it's flipping and rotating, and you see an aura of light around it. And it wasn't no drone or anything like that, because you can even, that day was quiet, and you could hear, I could hear the drones. When people are flying by drones here, it goes zzz and flies by. But there was no, even if it sits still in the sky, you can still hear that humming and whizzing of the blades. So I'm going to just play this real quick. So I label this vehicles of salvation and destruction. Okay? So, you know what? Let me put this on airplane mode. And let me play this right real quick for you, Akim. As you can see, this is it right here, right? And that's the glow that I'm talking about around it. That's not some, a drone. So I'm waiting for this to play. Oh, you know what? Hold on a second. Okay, let's play now. As you can see, if Joachim can closely see, seeing there's sprinkles of, light on the top. You see how it's rotating, right? So I'm going to play the next video. This one right here. Okay, there it is, by the power lines. That was the first. This was the second video here. So as you can see it there. That's not, and yeah, it was doing that to the camera. It's making it blink out. And you could see, actually you could see this trying to, disappear, as they would say. I'm just trying to zoom in so you, Akim, can see. Because that's it right there. It's just floating through the sky right there. And it kept fucking with the camera, man. See? I want to get back to that part real quick. Like, that's not a drone. Okay? See? Camera kept glitching out. Here's the other one right here. Slovakia. Where is it? Right there. This one, it kept, yep, there you go. It kept messing with the camera. This was the last one. That's not a drone, man. See, there you go. It kept disappearing, reappearing, then disappearing. So, like I said, I label this vehicles of salvation and destruction. Okay, so actually, you know what? Well, I wanted to get into this real quick here. When you go into this Isaiah chapter 19 and verse 1, the Lord is coming to Egypt, riding swiftly on a cloud. The Egyptian idols tremble before him, and the people of Egypt lose their courage. And that's what's going to happen when they see these multiple chariots show up. As it tells you in, let's go real quick here, Revelation 1 and 7. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all the kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, amen. Yeah, they're going to lose their courage, man. But the Lord's going to put that spirit on them to want to fight. So these vehicles are vehicles of salvation, and they're also vehicles of destruction. Okay, destruction to who? The 2/3, Esau, Edom, and these other nations. Okay, so going back into this, let's go to this real quick. Wisdom of Solomon. Now that I mentioned salvation, because it also tells you in the 1 Thessalonians chapter 4 that we shall be caught up in the air together, right? Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5 and verse 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him, and made no account of his labors. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they looked for. Right? So when we're out there telling you on the highways and byways, you know, starting with our apostle elders, that these vehicles, like we just showed you there, you know, these vehicles right here are vehicles of salvation, okay? And vehicles of destruction, right? But to whom? To whom is it destruction? Destruction is to this place here, Babylon, spiritually known as Egypt, okay? And to all these, you know, underlings, let me say it like that, of Babylon, okay, that pay homage to Babylon, they're going to be destroyed too, okay, taken out. So let's go back into this. Yep. And this ain't going to be too long, because we all know these scriptures, but for the younger brothers who are coming in, you know, you got to speak. Psalm chapter 68 and verse 17, the chariots of Yahweh are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them, as in Sinai, in the holy place. Okay? And the angels is what's out, not these little green men, as they say, Mars attacks and all this bullshit, right? What they keep, you know, feeding the people, misleading the people, okay? It's the chariots of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. It's not the chariots of fucking Mars attacks or anything like that, okay? The angels occupy these vehicles. And in that day, like I said, they're going to be getting down. They're going out there looking for the elect, and they're going to be out there whooping ass, okay? Ezekiel chapter 1 and verse 4, and I looked, and behold, a whirlwind came out of the north, a great cloud, and a fire enfolding itself, a brightness was about it, and out of the midst thereof, as the color of amber, out of the mist of the fire. Okay, now a fire enfolding on itself. This reminds me of what happened one time in Barbados. Okay, I'm gonna bring it up. I'm gonna pull up the internet feed. Okay, what happened in like 89 or 88, and I witnessed this. Me, my mom, half my village, man, my uncle, you know what I mean? And back in Barbados, and all the islands, the streets aren't big. They're not big like here where it has 2 lane, this, that. Now is, maybe construction on the way and changing stuff. Because when we grew up, we didn't even have hot water. Okay. And we didn't have no, we didn't have no private toilet inside. We had to shit in an outhouse. Okay. We had to bathe in a little small pipe as your pinky finger. Okay. Coming out the ground. But when we saw these chariots, these chariots were very close, man. I always say it was like 30 feet up, 30 feet across. It was correct numbers, man. If it was 45 feet, 45 feet out, 45 feet up, and 45 feet on a diagonal right in front of us. And it was a fire unfolding on itself, and there was 3 of them. And they came together as one. The one in the middle stayed still. The other 2 at the side, or the left and the right, they came together. They joined together. It didn't get bigger. It didn't get smaller. And then it drifted, and then it took off like Star Trek, where you just saw that zoop, gone. And this is in the CIA reports and everything. Okay. I'm gonna put the link inside the video here, because I was gonna stop it, pull it up, bring it, whatever. I might just put it as the screenshot for the video. But this is 100% true, man. Okay, 100% true. Okay, let me go to something real quick. Yep, let's go to Exodus chapter 14, where it talks about how it was light for us, but darkness for them. Exodus chapter 14 and verse 19, and the angel of Yahweh, which went before the camp of Israel, removed and went behind them. And the pillar of the cloud went before their face and stood behind them. And it came between the camp of the Egyptians and the camp of Yasharallah. And it was a cloud of darkness to them, right? But it gave light by night to these, so that the one came not near the other all the night. Okay? So you see, sometimes you may look up at night, and I've seen this a lot of times. The chariot will have a bright, bright light coming towards you, and it might be doing all types of maneuvers in the air, man. And as soon as it gets past you, you see that light. I don't know if it revolves, how it gets bright, and then it goes up. To the way I see it, it goes up, and then there's darkness behind, and you don't see it. Or sometimes the fire, what these guys say Sukunun in Trinidad and Barbados and Jamaica, they call them various different things. They say it's a witch and this and that, but it's not no witch. It's chariots. Okay, the chariots of Yahweh Bashim El Shai. And you see this ball of fire roaming across the sky, doing all types of maneuvers, man. And then zoop, taking off. That's not no witch. That's all bullshit. Okay, that's all folklore, as they say, right? But as you see, it's a vehicle of salvation to some and a vehicle of destruction to others. Let's go to something real quick. 2 Kings chapter 2 and 11. And it came to pass, this is talking about Elisha and Elijah, as they still went on and talked, that behold, there appeared a chariot of fire. You see that? And horses of fire, and parted them asunder. And Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven. And Elisha saw it, and he cried, my father, the chariots of Yasharallah, and the horsemen thereof. And he saw him no more, And he took hold of his own clothes and rent them in two pieces. Okay? So once again, these chariots could appear in different forms. I seen a chariot, I should have put this in there a couple years back, probably like 4 years back, and it was black, same thing as that one, and it looked like it was tumbling, but it was keeping a straight path. And when I recorded it, the same thing, that bright light around it, and you could see it morphing. I slowed it down and I could see it changing different angles and morphing, man. Okay? But once again, these people of the world, they have no understanding, they have no sight. The Lord didn't give it unto them to know. He gave it unto us to know. Okay? And here's another example, 2 Kings chapter 6 and verse 17. And Elisha prayed and said, Yahweh, I pray thee, open his eyes. This is Elisha's servant, that he may see. And Yahweh opened his eyes and opened his eyes, Salakia, and Yahweh opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha. See? So sometimes we may see these things and other people, it's not apparent onto them. The Lord doesn't show it onto them. Okay? But we know what these vehicles are. It's not no little green men. It's not no, bullshit, some other planetary people visiting us. That doesn't make no damn sense. Do you get in your car and go drive thousands of miles, kilometers, just to visit one pond and look at one spot in the pond? Or even go to a patch of grass or a patch of sand and just stand there and be like, yeah, next year I'm coming back to the same spot and look at this patch of sand. If that's not some monumental thing, or, you know what I mean? A park, or, you're not going to do that. Okay? Daniel chapter 7 and 13. I saw in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven, and came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him. So you see how Yahweh Shai is returning? He's returning with those same clouds, aka clouds, the chariots. And he's going to return with a big, Independence Day, where they showed this big ship. And you look from one end to the next end, and you don't see a beginning and end, just like Ezra spoke of. Well, Yahweh Shai is going to return the same way. And when he returns, you're going to have the Father ship, just like our apostle elders say. And you're going to have other ships that come out of that ship to go gather the elect. Okay? And to do damage. Vehicles of salvation and vehicles of, destruction. 2 Ezra chapter 2 and 34. And therefore I say unto you, O ye heathen, that hear and understand, look for your shepherd. And when it's going to that word heathen, it's really talking about our people. Okay? Our people who, the elect are going to wake up and understand this. And if the elect are still walking around in the heathen state of mind, we were walking around in the heathen state of mind some years back, right? Before we came into the truth. Same thing with the brothers, So we had to wake out of that heathen state, because the Lord put that understanding into us to know what these vehicles are, what these scriptures are saying, unction from the Most High, right? And right now, who are we looking for? Our shepherd, Yahweh Shai, right? He shall give you everlasting rest, for he is nigh at hand, that shall come in the end of the world, right? And he's going to come with what? Those vehicles of salvation for his elect, the ones that put their trust in him. Not the ones who, the two-thirds. The two-thirds are going to get zappled, okay? Along with Esau, Edom, and these other nations. So vehicles of salvation, vehicles of destruction. Okay. Isaiah chapter 31 and verse 5. As birds flying, so will Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai of hosts, defend Jerusalem. Defending also, he will deliver it, and passing over, he will preserve it. As birds fly, you see the chariots will zip, whoop, what, all over the place. And who's in those chariots? The angels. And they're going to be getting down in the day, when Yahushua returns and all our chaos is happening. And even before that, because we got the chariots here now. We got the MOTB, the nukes, everything's on the table. And you don't know, hey, the angels of the Lord encampeth around them that feareth him, right? You don't know, some of your neighbors might be trying to do some dumb shit to you. And the chariots, over top of their house, just blocking out all their beams and, blocking out all their digital attempts on you. Okay? Scrambling shit. Pissing them off. They're probably trying to spy on you and look through your window and shit at you. Trying to record you. You might not know that they got an angle on you like that. And every time they put a fucking camera up on you or some bullshit, I speak as a man, but the chariots is blocking it out, phasing it out. Esau, Edom, got them listeners and shit trying to hear in on your conversation. Can't hear nothing. Okay? Scrambling them out. But the chariots in that day, they're going to be getting down, man. They're going to be whooping ass. All right? 2nd Ezra chapter 13 and verse 6. For behold, and lo, he had graven himself a great mountain and flew up upon it. But I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not. Okay? So going into this scripture right here, it's talking about how big that chariot is. Okay, going back into Independence Day, what I was saying, chariot's gonna be huge. It's gonna be from one end to the other. Okay, in which you don't, you can't even. You're like, God damn, this chariot's so big. When's it gonna end? Okay. Revelation chapter 12, and this is what these Christians always get this scripture all fucked up. Revelation chapter 12, verse 7. And there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels. Okay, this, the war in heaven. This is talking about them chariots getting down, man. Whooping up Esau, Edom's, his advancements that the Lord has given him. Okay? Basically. It's not, the devil said, yeah, come on, guys. I take a poll. Who's on my side? Yay, let's go. Let's go up to the gates of heaven. Come on, let's go. No. This is talking about chariots coming against Esau, Edom, and his vehicles that he has, okay? Basically. And his vehicles that he has damn near analog compared to, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai's power, man. Not even analog. Analog is not even the word. Slakia. Sticks and stones, man. Okay? And prevailed not, neither was there found any place found any more in heaven. So let's continue here. Let's go. Yep. Vehicles of salvation. For who? The elect. Matthew chapter 24 and verse 31. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. Okay? He shall send his angels. What vehicles are they using? Those very same chariots, man. And yeah, let's get this real quick. Habakkuk chapter 3 and verse 4 in the NLT. His coming is as brilliant as the sunrise, Salakia. Rays of light flash from his hands where his awesome power is hidden. Like I said, these chariots going to be doing the wapple zapple. Vehicles of salvation we just read, and vehicles of destruction. But vehicles of destruction onto who? The 2/3. The 1/3, these are vehicles of salvation. They're going to be beamed up. You know what I mean? They're going to be taken out of here. But you 2/3, you know, and Esau, Edom, and these other nations, you're going to have to feel the blunt of what these chariots are capable of doing. And when you look at War of the Worlds, you know, prime example, Apostle Elder Gabar always mentions that, man. And another movie, The Earth Still Stayed, no, wait, what was it? The Day the Earth Stood Still, okay? Let me get into another scripture here. True. Isaiah chapter 19, yeah. Well, we read it in the beginning here. Isaiah 19 in the Good News Translation. The Lord is coming, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is coming to Egypt, a.k.a. Babylon, okay? You know, spiritually known as Egypt. Riding swiftly on a cloud. The very same cloud that we read about in 2nd Ezra chapter 13, okay? And they're going to be that's the fathership, and they're going to be other, you know, chariots coming out. The Egyptian idols tremble before him, and the people of Egypt lose their courage. Yeah, when they see all this going down and, you know, ass being whooped, and there's no power in the Egyptians like how our people do here, where it says right here, yeah, cover not me, that walk to go down into Egypt, they have not asked in my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, to trust in the shadow of Egypt, right? There was another one, hold up. Yeah, right here, you know, verse 31, or verse 1, chapter 31, verse 1, okay? You're going to be getting zapped up with them, okay? They trust in this type of power. You trust in this type of power. But guess what? The Lord's power is beyond that, okay? You're going to be trembling and shaking in your bones, man, because when you find out that those, you know, powers of Esau, Edom, his vehicles have no power, you're gonna be fucked up, man. You know? You're really gonna be fucked up. You're gonna be say, fuck. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5. You're gonna be repenting, groaning, anguish, mad, pissed off, banging your head against the wall. Imagine you're running down the street, your wife just got zapped, vaporized, turned into blood dust. Okay? And it's all over your face and your kids. You're going to be mad. You're going to be pissed off. Hella pissed off. And all you other Israelite camps out there too. When you screaming, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, help me, for those who do say the name, and he says, I never knew you. Get away from me, you worker of iniquity. You're going to be mad too. Okay? So, you know, hey, these are vehicles of salvation for some, and vehicles of destruction for the others, okay? And Lord will, you know, we be accounted as the elect, you know, so we could get the hell out of here. So with that, all praises, all honor, all glory be unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostle elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace and salutation to all the Akim doing and pushing his word in sincerity and truth worldwide, and a sincere shalom to the elect. I hope you are edified, Lord willing, to the next time. Abad Babal. Shalom.